Yes. There we go. Much better. All right, CME Grand Rising, Kingdom Greetings, Great Awakening family. I trust everybody is doing well and all is well. I needed to come and do this live. I know that we're in a time. We're in a time. I know we're in a time. And the time that we're in it requires us to stay focused. It requires us to stay focused. It requires us to um, want to be able to continue to do the things that we are called and required to do. It requires us to stay focused. I don't even know how to just, you know, to just say it. But any which way, I have to come to you. I have to do what I have to do because I'm eternally grateful for the Most High, for the divine creator, for the source of life, to afford me this opportunity to become before you. I know many of you may have heard or are hearing or seeing, I should say, a lot of what is happening here in Kenya, a lot of what's happening in Tanzania, Dubai, America. There are so many places that so many things are happening. And honestly, as I was doing my cleansing and doing my meditation, um, this message came to me. I started getting this download. And so I came to you immediately afterwards to come and share with you. And then when I started in the very first video, um, all of a sudden power went out. I went into everything just shut down, just went off. But nevertheless, because the message is not my message, just the divine creator's message, and I came to give it to you. And you, as the title of this message is the cleansing of the kingdoms, not kingdom, just one, but kingdoms, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. As much as we know that even though they put the Suez Canal inside there, all of the Middle East is still considered a part of Africa, whether they want to be known as a part of Africa or not. It is what it is. The continent of Africa, let me put it like that. They're all a part of the same continent. And so there is a cleansing going on. And I want to come and share as I've gotten the download, I want to share with you so you don't get caught up in the low vibrating energy of what is happening. Oh, so many lives are being lost. And I'm not insensitive of the lives that are being lost. Please hear me and know me and hear my heart. I'm not insensitive to the lives that are being lost. I am. Even cattle. When I saw Masai Mara, everybody know about Masai Mara in terms of safaris and all the lions and the lioness and the zebras and all that different stuff, the giraffes and everything that is there in the Masai Mara. A lot of the animals are being displaced. I think a lot of the animals too sense what was happening and seek higher grounds. That's their senses, but they're in the midst. There are some that like the cattle, like the cows and the goats and those things that the Maasai's aren't really was sensitive, and so you see that they lost a lot of their livestock and stuff like that. So there's a whole lot going on here in Kenya in terms of flooding. But blessed be to the name of the Most High, the divine creator, the source of life, that where I am at here in an area called Malindi, I'm relatively safe at this time. There's no flooding here at this time. We have what we call the Sabaki River that is here. That is also I can't remember the other name of the other river, but this river also runs all the way from um, Tanzania. It disconnects. It's a very long river that connects all the way from Tanzania, comes all the way here through Malindi to the Indian Ocean. So it's not to say that something may not happen in terms of river overflowing, because we had it last year where we had an area where the river had overflowed and some lives were lost. But at this present time, we don't have it at this time. There again, Mombasa, which is very close to us, also been having downfalls of rain and have been having flooding. But everybody know that Mombasa itself is an island by itself that is connected to the mainland via bridges. So Mombasa is like sitting in this is Mombasa is like in the middle here, sitting and connected to the mainland via bridges and road construction that is put in place. But that is not the reason I'm here. I'm here because there's a cleansing going on. And unless you understand the cleansing that is going on, you'll be caught up once again in the low vibration. You'll get caught up in all the new sensation that is happening. You'll get caught up kind of place and stuff like that. But also knowing, according to the scripts that they gave us, we remember the story with Noah and how the promise was not to destroy the earth by water, but by fire. But as we are noticing, and we could contribute it. YouTube, those of you fact finders, this video is just for information purposes only. This is just information purposes. As you know, my channel is also an education channel for information purposes. I'm not insinuating anything, but we know that in public domain, there's a video with them talking in Dubai, questioning those that are the meteorologists in Dubai, asking them a question if there was going to be any rain, because Dubai is famous and known for, the EU is known for, what they call that, seeding the clouds for rain, because we know that Dubai is a man-made island. As much as everybody like to go there and how rich it is and all this different stuff, it's a man-made island. So if something that is man-made, it is receptive to be destroyed. You understand? If you put something in the way of where water was, water is going to come back and claim its land. I don't care if it's 2 years, 3 years, 100 years, water is going to come back and reclaim where it once used to flow. And so this is a lot of what is happening. What is happening is a lot of the land that we repossess, we compose, we fill in land to build upon. And so now water is not only just coming from the top, but water is also coming from beneath. My goodness, it reminds me. Doesn't it remind you of scripture saying water above and water below? Yeah. So some things, they drop some nuggets, they leave some paper trail in the scripture for us to know that there's water above and there's water below. I know that I have a sister that lives in the Bahamas, and in the area that she lives in, we call it spring tide. So when the spring tide comes, and that area is prone for flooding. Why? Because it ain't just the rain that is coming down that is flooding the area, but it's the water that is rising up. So all of the flooding that we're seeing is not only just water coming down from rain, but it's also water coming up from underground. And if you Google the water table of Africa, especially the water table of Kenya, you will find that Kenya, Africa, the continent is the land of many waters. Yeah, it's the land of many waters. And so you'll find that we have waters, not only just the rain coming down, but you have waters that are coming up. We also had, whereas there was the dam that broke. So there's a dam that broke in one area. Then Lake Victoria started to spring up, and so she started to overflow her barns. And then there was like a water reservoir kind of dam that happened because of the railway going into Kenya, Western Kenya. The railway had broken off, so there became a water reservoir that was there, and then that broke. So that caused a lot of boulders and stuff, and that when I tell you that mash a whole village, there are people that they cannot find that had changed the landscape of that area. So you don't even know that like houses was there unless somebody tell you that, wow, this was just a little village, a whole village was completely destroyed. So even as the kingdom is cleansing and the landscape as we know it is shifting, and I mean, let me tell you, when I say the landscape is shifting, the landscape is shifting. If you look in so many different countries at this very moment, you will see the dynamics of the landscapes are really, really shifting. And so I come to encourage you today to continue to vibrate high, to continue to keep positive, continue to keep safe, to continue to um, know thyself. You understand? Know who you are. Know that you are in a place of safety because you have not been given that thing called the spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. And if you keep on saying that you're surviving, you're not a part of this matrix, you're not a part of this system. It helps you a whole lot in the dynamics because you could be in the midst of chaos, but the chaos do not have to be in the midst in you. It's like when they say, quote unquote, that Jesus was on the waters and the waves was doing and stuff like that. He said, peace be still. So in the midst of the chaos, he was able to speak peace. You understand? Did the storm go away? We don't know. They didn't say where the storm go. They just said the peace came. So you could be in the midst of all of this that is going on, like for myself, who in the midst of all of this that is going on, but I have a peace in the midst of it. I have an assurity in the midst of it. You understand that I'm going to be okay. I'm going to survive this. I'm going to be able to continue to do the work that I came here to do. I'm going to be able to continue to build a community. I'm going to continue to be able to help the people that I came to help and create a safe haven for those who want to leave the diaspora, leave the Western world and make their way home to the continent, make it a home here. They'll have a place to come to. So in the midst of all that is going on, I just want to say, I'm okay. You know, we just got to get to the place where as we learn how to feed ourselves, that's the other aspect of it. You have to get to the place where as you learn how to feed yourself. And there again, some of the areas in Kenya, like those who were doing the avocado farming, those persons, they've lost a lot of land. Cattle has been gone. Crops have been lost. So I don't know. I have to check and see if it has already been called what you call a national disaster versus just flooding in one area or the other. Almost every region of Kenya has been hit by either flooding and the rain and all that different stuff. So it can be considered a national disaster. Okay.